Why, hello there, red cloak and blue silver elves alike. Shams Nelson here from Pen and Blade. And in this episode of the Pirates Mapbook, we are going to be taking a trip to Silver Diamond Island, which is the home of and the creation that is brought to you by Sir Squire, who said you should make an island where an ancient order of night elves live in a wooden castle. They should fight with silver and emerald spears and have light green capes. So that's what we have here. And I actually used the online random region generator brought to you by, or powered by, our good homeboy Philip Schlesinger. Sorry, bro. I'm gonna practice that. I haven't said it out loud yet. Schlesinger. I'm not gonna show it to you guys just yet because because it's not all pretty and stuff, but I am going to use it to generate this left side. We're going to put some monsters here, and then I'm going to talk to you about the history of the elves in this region from the first time they arrived to the state of the region as it is now. So hold on, you're going to have to look at this beautiful view while I get this this stuff generated. So we're going to generate the first monster is ogres, and I'm feeling like let's do two monsters. Two main monsters. So there's a bunch of ogres and goblins. All right, we'll keep it simple then. So the ogres and goblins are just totally infesting this area. They've been driven back. They used to be all over this area, but they've been driven back into this one shard up here. So that's the dangerous uninhabited region, which we won't touch upon too much. And I guess the gnomes and the dwarves also lived in these whole regions, but they've also been pushed back to this area by the elves, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, so that part has less to do with the rest of the story. So the story begins many hundreds of years ago when what we're gonna call when the elves who were from another region, oppressed by some other peoples, perhaps some drow elves or another group of elves, they fled and found this island, but they were chased by their pursuers. And here, this island is very hard to land on. You see, it's all cliffs except for this bay and these sandy regions, but the sandy regions have rocks all around. So they got into this bay, which would later be called Emerald Spear Bay, and they held off the forces of their attackers at this town here, which I guess I haven't named yet, but it probably deserves a name because it's just an important one. So if you guys want to suggest a name in the comments below, let me know. So they held them off, and in doing so, they got their freedom back, whatever. So this is, since that time, they built two fortresses. So this castle in the south built of stone, and the fortress in the north built of wood, eagle wood to be precise. And they used this to make sure that no one could leave. So there would be Comish people coming in and out. And this is, by the way, this is the last island in the Diamond Island chain. I should have mentioned that. And it's important because there are green diamonds on this particular island. And they're not actually emeralds. That's a misnomer. But they're green diamonds, which are harder and rarer. And they're used to make the spear tips which helped repel the invaders. They used the spear tips, and there's also silver, and there's this silver iron alloy, so they make that the shaft of the spear, and then the tip of the spear is the green diamond. So it's a very powerful weapon. So after they drove them on, there's like peace and everything, and the first people, so elves live hundreds of years, so this is hundreds of years later, and so for the first 150, 200 years, whatever, they were all living. They occupied this island and have like an agricultural society for the most part. And these fortresses, they were all ruled under let's say the king, we'll call him the Green King, the Great Green King. And he had a brother who was a few hundred years younger than him, pretty brash by elvish standards and aggressive. And he put him in charge of the armies. So the kingdom was doing fine, but it wasn't prospering as much as the younger brother thought that it should, given that it has these green diamonds, which the Great Green King didn't want to trade off because he figured, that's like a weapon, that's like a military technology. If everyone has that, then they won't have a military advantage and they could be taken over and oppressed again, like the old days. So he's trying to stop that. So he doesn't trade off very much green diamond at all. In fact, it's forbidden, and that's why this is the only in and out of the town, of the whole city. So there might be some smuggling or bootlegging operations here, but you know, everything's regulated through this town here, which is another reason why I should probably need a name. Maybe it'll be called Emerald Spear, the city of Emerald Spear. That makes sense, actually. So then there was a turning point of this island, when the younger brother decided that he thinks he could do things better and bring much more prosperity by opening up the trade and stuff like that. So he basically staged a coup and took over all the people in Red Cloak Castle. So they changed their cloaks to red. And that otherwise they wear these light green, like Sir Squire mentioned. So they all used to wear light green, and this color is going to come into play because there's 4 colored elves. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. That would have been cool, little hook. Well, now you know there are 4 different colored elves we're going to talk about. So they changed their cloak to red, and they took the city of Emerald Spear. All right, and but they could not take Eaglewood Fortress. So there was a divide between the green elves of the north and the red elves of the south. But some of the red elves of the south did not agree and did not want to join. They were not loyal to the younger brother of the king. Instead, they were loyal to the king, but they could not move north because the king, after he was betrayed by his younger brother, swore that no red cloak elf will ever would go unpunished or something. I guess that would only count for the army, so anyone in that red cloak army, and you wouldn't trust anyone to come and say oh no, I'm with you, I'm not, because he was the spies and stuff, and he thought that they should have stopped the coup in the first place. So those elves instead went south and started wearing blue cloaks and using the silver in the south to make their weapons and stuff like that. But maybe they don't have the emerald spear tips except for the ones they brought from before, but they can't mine them down there. I don't know. That's not necessarily a detail we have to go with. I'm just I don't know if I like that detail. We'll see. So we got so now we have the red cloaks who are fighting against the green elves in the north, and the people who did not agree with the schism from the red cloaks went down to blue silver. But some of them had family in the north, and some of the people in the north did not agree with did not want to fight in this war against elf. So they traveled into this area which is called Freevale. It's dangerous. There are still ogres and goblins out there for sure, and also the red cloaks that had family or didn't want to go south to blue silver for whatever reason, went up to Freevale. So this is why it's called the Orange Arm River, because when they tried to get the red dye out of their cloaks, once they got to Freevale, to stop being associated and also not to be such an obvious target, it became this orangish color. They used some vinegar or something, and it changed the red to orange, basically. So they could be called the Orange Elves as a nickname, and I think that might be it. So for now, this is probably the biggest and most prominent of the Diamond Islands with the green diamonds. The Berry Mist Mountains, it's got berries, it's got mist. I don't know what more to tell you about that. And I think that's gonna do it for this episode. So until next time, peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone.